Well, hello again, YouTube. I'm back trying out a different camera. It seems to be working slightly better than last time, so let's see here. Got a few things that I've been saving in my folder to talk about here. Just waited till I got a bunch of different ones before bringing them all up. Get this thing out of my way. The first one here is just kind of an interesting little one that I came across the other night. The headline reads, 1 in 10 students think the first man on the moon was Buzz Lightyear. And yeah, the article is pretty much just about this. It was published, looks like on the 16th, so it's fairly recent yet. But yeah, 1 in 10 UK school children thought that Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear and not Neil Armstrong took the first man on the moon, according to the London Telegraph. This was a survey given to 1,000 primary and secondary school children, and looks like it was a test in advance of the National Science and Engineering Week. Other candidates given as possible moon men were Sir Richard Branson, cyclist Lance Armstrong, who I can also kind of see because of Neil Armstrong and all that, and Star Wars' Luke Skywalker. Now, some of these, that you can see a little bit of the confusion, Buzz Lightyear, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, Lance Armstrong. You can kind of see how a primary school student might get a little confused, but the one that really seemed to stand out the most was how Sir Isaac Newton discovered fire. Okay. It's one of those, it's one of those articles that draws kind of a fine line between cute and really sad. I just thought that I'd bring it up here. And, again, like always, I'll have all of my source links over in the sidebar. Okay, now I'm going to talk about something else here that's always been kind of a touchy subject for some people. Film remakes. A lot of these have been happening lately. And it seems like Tim Burton's not going to stop. His next remake, The Addams Family. It's going to be animated and in 3D. Now, I don't like Tim Burton. I don't like Johnny Depp. I don't really like anything the two of them have done. I think my exception for Tim Burton would probably be Mars Attacks, and my exception for Johnny Depp would be Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and The Astronaut's Wife. But other than that, I can't stand the two of these two. But yeah, it looks like Tim Burton wants to remake The Addams Family. I don't know what he's going to be planning on doing with it. It looks like he's also completely forgot about making a feature version of Frankenweenie, which I did also like that one. It was a 30-minute short that he did back in 1984, and it was really cute. But yeah, it looks like Tim Burton's just hell-bent on remaking everything he does and not coming up with anything new ever again. At least that's what I'm getting from this article here. And continuing on this topic of remakes, there's also going to be a Monster Squad remake. Or it looks like Platinum Dunes is producing a remake of the Monster Squad here. Looks like it has Count Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, the Mummy, and Gillman. According to ONTD, the Uglies are in search of a powerful amulet that will grant them power to rule the world. Okay, there's another movie here that's getting remade. You may or may not remember it. It's kind of an older one, 1987. Overboard. Jennifer Lopez is going to be in the remake of this one, and it's going to be produced by Will Smith. Not really sure what the hell's going to happen with this one. I didn't know that movie really needed a remake, but okay. And one last little bit on the remake frontier. BBC shows Torchwood, spin-off of the Doctor Who franchise. Some of you may have already heard that Fox are planning on bringing this to the U.S. I don't know why we would need a U.S. version of Torchwood. I mean, it's perfectly fine on the BBC. I'm not a huge fan of the show myself. I do prefer Doctor Who. But that said, I am not a fan of American remakes of anything, really. I'm struggling to think of an American remake of anything British that I've actually enjoyed. But, the fact that Torchwood will be coming to Fox, that's not necessarily the huge news. That's actually been kind of in the works for a while. The big news right now is that Fox are considering making Captain Jack Harkness straight, which a lot of Jack's character in Torchwood and Doctor Who is that he is the omnisexual, will sleep with a bedpost sort of person. He comes from the 51st century. Mankind's whole mission is to seek out new life forms and dance with them, according to one episode of Doctor Who. But yeah, it looks like, should Fox do this, they do want Barrowman to continue his role as Captain Jack, but they want to make him straight. Now, according to John Barrowman, should Fox ask him to reprise his role as Captain Jack, he will jump on board. He says that he does absolutely adore Captain Jack, whether it's America, or whether it's in America or in Britain. But he is not very comfortable with trying to de-gay Jack, and frankly, neither am I. I'm not really a fan of the whole Torchwood thing, but I adored Captain Jack in Doctor Who. I loved John Barrowman. And frankly, I'm not really sure why we would need a U.S., I don't know why we need a U.S. version of this. And in my opinion, the only way it could work with Captain Jack would be if it's just another kind of branch of Torchwood and Captain Jack is just occasionally there. I don't know, just kind of having Jack be the center of Torchwood LA and in Torchwood Cardiff. That just, I don't know, seems stretching it a bit thin, if you ask me. Moving on from remakes now to just completely dragging things on way too far. Those really horribly predictable Final Destination films, apparently they're making a 5th one. I don't know why we needed a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th one, but there you go. That's really all I had to say about that. I just don't know why they're doing it. And now in the news of the weird, I don't know if you've heard about this one, but a Korean man recently married his body pillow that had a Japanese anime girl drawn on. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the hell's going on with this. Apparently, there's footage out there somewhere showing the man bringing his body pillow to a theme park where they ride a roller coaster and a carousel, and then later they go up for dinner where he orders 2 dishes of pasta. Predictably, everywhere they go, people point, laugh, and whisper, which is kind of hilarious. But, yeah, I'm not really sure what the hell's going on with here, and I guess it's not exactly completely uncommon. I guess in 2009, a Japanese man married his virtual girlfriend from a Nintendo DS simulator. And, yeah, it looks like there's an online petition with over 500 signatures that's calling for the Japanese government to officially recognize people's right to marry 2-dimensional characters. Okay, a quote from one protester: "We've no interest in the 3D. If we could, we'd like to live in a 2D world. However, with current technology, this is not possible, so at the very least, can we at least have marriage to 2D characters legally recognized?" A quote from another petitioner: "I've been married to..." I can't even begin to pronounce this name. I'm assuming it's one of the fictional characters, but I've been married to this character for 5 years now. I've no doubt that I want to spend the rest of my life with her. As someone who lives in 2 dimensions, I'd very much like to support this measure. I mean, it's kind of like those real doll things, only a little bit creepier, if that's even possible. I don't know. Anyway, that's just a few of the things that I wanted to talk about today. The next time you see me, I should actually have a different camera. One that can do audio on its own and not look like ass. Bye.